I am holding a piece of paper in my hand. It is a bank statement. It shows a balance of $500,000. This was the college fund. This was the nest egg. This was the head start. I started saving for this account the day my son David was born. I put every bonus into this account. I put every tax refund into this account. I skipped vacations to feed this account. I drove a car with no air conditioning for 5 years so I could put an extra $200 a month into this account. I told myself, I am a good father. I am securing his future. I am making sure he never struggles like I did. I was obsessed with his tomorrow. I was so obsessed with his tomorrow that I completely missed his today. I want to talk to you about the parenting paradox. It is a trap that almost every loving parent falls into. We love our children so much that we want to give them the world. We want to protect them from pain. We want to guarantee their success. So we go to work. We grind. We stress. We calculate. We trade our time with them now to buy security for them later. We tell ourselves, I can't play catch right now. I have to work so I can pay for his Harvard tuition. I can't read him a bedtime story tonight. I have to finish this project so he can inherit a house. I can't come to the school play. I have to meet with the financial advisor to secure his trust fund. We sacrifice the present moment, the flesh and blood reality of our children, for a ghost called the future. And the paradox is this: by trying to secure their future happiness, we destroy their present happiness. And by destroying their present happiness, we create a future where they don't even want to be around us. Let me tell you a story about a Saturday in 1994. David was 7 years old. It was a perfect spring day, the kind of day where the air smells like cut grass and possibility. David came into my office. He was holding a baseball glove and a ball. He had this look in his eyes, pure, unadulterated hope. "Dad," he said, "can we go to the park? I want to show you my curveball." I looked at him, and then I looked at my computer screen. I was working on a side hustle. I was trying to flip a real estate deal. I did the math in my head instantly. If I close this deal, that's another $10,000 for his future. That's another semester of college paid for. That's security. So I looked at my 7-year-old son and I said, "Not today, buddy. Daddy is working for you. Daddy is building your empire. Go play outside. I'll come out later." Later. That was my favorite word. Later is the most dangerous word in the parenting dictionary. David's shoulders slumped. The light in his eyes went out. He walked out of the room. I felt a twinge of guilt, but I pushed it down. I am doing this for him, I whispered to myself. He will thank me when he is 30. He will thank me when he graduates debt-free. He will understand. Well, David is 38 now. He graduated debt-free. He went to the Ivy League school. He has the trust fund. And do you know what? He has never thanked me. Not once. We had dinner last month. It was polite. It was cold. I tried to bring it up. I was looking for validation. I wanted a return on my investment. I said, "David, aren't you glad you didn't have student loans? Aren't you glad I set you up?" He put his fork down. He looked at me with eyes that were tired. He said, "Dad, I appreciate the money. I really do. It made things easier." Then he paused. "But honestly, I would trade every single dollar in that account to have had a dad who came to my baseball games. I would trade the Ivy League degree to have had a dad who didn't look stressed every time I walked into the room. You were always worried about my future, Dad, but I was lonely in the present. It hit me like a bullet. I had spent 30 years building a castle for him, but I had left him alone in the dungeon while I built it. You see, children live in a different time zone than adults. Adults live in tomorrow. We live in deadlines, goals, and retirement plans. Children live in now. To a child, tomorrow does not exist. 5 years from now is an eternity. When a child asks you to play, they are not asking for a favor. They are offering you a moment of connection. and that moment has an expiration date. When you say later, the child hears you don't matter. When you say, I'm doing this for your future, the child hears my present isn't good enough. I see so many parents today making the same mistake I did. I see you working 80 hours a week to buy a bigger house in a better school district. But your kids are in that big house alone with a nanny or alone with a screen. Is the better school district worth the absent father? Is the safe neighborhood worth the stressed-out mother? I had a neighbor named Frank. Frank was a mechanic. He didn't make much money. His kids went to public school. They wore hand-me-down clothes. They didn't have a trust fund. But Frank was home every day at 5 p.m. Frank was the coach of the Little League team. Frank was the guy who built the treehouse in the backyard with his own hands. I used to judge Frank. I used to think he's not ambitious. He's not securing his kids' future. I was wrong. Frank's kids are grown now too. They are happy. They are well-adjusted, and most importantly, they adore Frank. They come over for Sunday dinner every single week, not because they have to, but because they want to. They laugh. They hug. They have a bond that money cannot buy. Frank gave them the greatest inheritance of all. He gave them a happy childhood. He gave them a father who was present. He gave them confidence. My son has money, but he has anxiety. He feels like he has to earn love through achievement, just like I did. Frank's kids have less money, but they have peace. They know they are loved just for being who they are. The parenting paradox is a lie. We tell ourselves we are sacrificing for them, but really, we are sacrificing them for our own anxiety. We are terrified of the future, so we try to control it with money. But you cannot control the future. The stock market could crash. The college could burn down. The currency could collapse. The only thing you can control, the only thing, is the relationship you build today. Imagine your child is a flower. You are so busy building a greenhouse for the flower's future, so busy buying the best fertilizer for next year, that you forget to water the flower today, and the flower withers. By the time the greenhouse is finished, the flower is dead. Don't let that be you. Don't be the architect who builds a mansion for a ghost. If you are listening to this, and you have small children, or even teenagers, stop. Look at your bank account. Do they really need that extra $5,000 this year? Or do they need you to take a Saturday off and go hiking? Do they need the private tutor? Or do they need you to sit with them and struggle through the math homework together? The memories you make today are the only future that matters. When your child is 40, they will not remember the size of their inheritance. They will remember the way you looked at them when they walked into the room. They will remember if you were smiling or if you were looking at your phone. They will remember if you were available or if you were busy. I would give this entire $500,000 back. I would burn it in a trash can right now. I would drive a beat-up car for the rest of my life. If I could just go back to that Saturday in 1994. If I could just go back to that moment when David stood in the doorway with his baseball glove, I would turn off the computer. I would stand up. I would grab my glove, and I would say, "Yes, son, let's go. Show me that curveball." I can't go back. The time is gone, but you can. You are still in the game. The clock is still running. Don't sacrifice there today for a tomorrow that is not guaranteed. The best way to prepare your children for the future is to send them into it with a heart full of love and a head full of happy memories. That is the only wealth that lasts. Go home, forget the future for a few hours. Be in the now, because the now is all you have.